Hello and welcome to Triple C Rated. On this podcast, we talk about food, fashions, cultures, also other things as well. Like, for example, this week's one, there's, I think, some food questions, and then there's some other random questions from other people. So it's not one thing all the time. It's just whatever we feel like talking about, we'll talk about, essentially. Anyway, I'm Chin. My mum next to me is Choo. And this is my wife on my left, Lydia. Those for the people watching it alone at home, on or in a car, or on a train, on YouTube, which is Chin and Choo TV. And if you're listening at home on a oh my god, on the podcast, hello in your ears. Yep.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Okay, so on that terrible start,
Yeah.
should we get going?
Yes.
Okay. First question.
We'll start off with a cooking one. Well, cooking related.
Yep.
What is the difference between a cook and a chef?
Right, Mum?
A cook.
Yeah.
A cook is like it's been. I'm not so sure. I think it's cook is you've been brought up with it all along, isn't it? A chef is like a trained chef, is it?
I mean, what is that? What it means to you? There's no right or wrong. Well, there is a right or wrong answer, but I mean, I don't. The right answer for me is not the right answer
to everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different for me.
Well, I'm not too sure about this.
Really?
Cook and chef.
You're not too sure?
Yeah.
Well, for me, chef is a professional, whereas a cook is someone who's at home and cooks. So 99% of the TV chefs are cooks.
Yeah.
They're not chefs. To me, to be a chef, you need to have done your time in a professional kitchen of some sort. Even like private chefs, I wouldn't really consider them like chefs unless they've done their time in a kitchen and then gone and done that private catering. Because like chefing in an actual or on the line is far more difficult than you can ever describe to someone. And it's that pressure. It's kind of like a baptism in fire sort of thing. You earn that title, and it's not a bone of contention for me because I don't really care when people call themselves chefs, but it like sort of demeans what we do. Like, so people see, oh, you're a TikTok chef, and I'm like, oh, you're this chef, and they're a chef, and they're a chef, and I'm like, well, none of them have done. I mean, yes, they can cook, but ask them to do that 20 times in the space of a minute. With three different timings on the go, it's not going to happen. And then it's like, then you have to say, well, in our profile it says professional chefs, because I hate the term pro chef. Pro chef just sounds so unbelievably cringe. I'm a pro chef, don't you know? In fact, professional chef makes me cringe when I say it. But so you have to differentiate. Thank you. The difference now between the TikTok chefs or the YouTube chefs and the actual chefs, because a lot of people just assume that we're just TikTok or YouTube chefs because we cook on there, and I have to go, no, we do this full time. Unlike most of everyone else on here, we're actual chefs. Also, big shout out to Kohan, by the way, because he is an actual chef and he has a YouTube channel, so go check him out. He does very similar stuff to us, different style of cooking, because no one cooks the same, but yeah, go check him out. And like, don't get me wrong, I just feel like, and the thing is, I've cooked so much professionally, I still don't refer to myself as chef. When someone calls me chef, I'm like, yeah, but like,
I'm a bit embarrassed.
It's a bit embarrassed. Yeah, I am too, because I know that there's so much more I don't know, and it's
you're constantly learning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And I kind of like shrivel up and go, oh, don't call me chef because I don't feel like I deserve that accolade. And then you have these people who've managed to get 10,000 YouTube followers, and they just go around, oh yeah, call me chef. Call me chef.
I'm a chef.
Oh, chef. Yes. And I'm just like, oh, okay, that's fine.
They're usually the sort of ones who introduce themselves before they say their name or anything, going, I've been cooking for 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay, well done. So have I, but
my gran cooked for 50 years. Yeah, just, and that's another thing. Someone was like, oh, I can't remember who it was. It wasn't someone mega, but someone once said to, because I did a reaction video, and they said, oh, they've been cooking since they were, I don't know, 20, and then now 50. And I went, okay, fair one. But what I really wanted to say is, where? In your kitchen at home? Like,
yeah.
I mean, so they practiced maybe once a day at best, whereas a professional chef like me practices every day all the time because it's my job to practice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just that there's a massive disparity, and that's why Gordon Ramsay is so good, and all the other chefs. And I will give Jamie Oliver his credit where credit's due because he was a genuine chef. But like,
Yeah.
they just know their stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, Jamie Oliver, not so much.
The thing is, I actually quite like him.
He's
I know
a good home cook. I don't think he's a chef.
he was a chef. He worked for a Michelin star restaurant. I don't know what. I mean, I don't know what level he got to because
He just douses everything in olive oil, which just tells me he doesn't know what he's doing.
but that was the thing to do in the 90s when he became famous. Like everyone was doing it. Like everyone, it was just like olive oil here, olive oil here. Your baby's sick, olive oil on its face. It's just that's exactly what it was like.
Your hair is dry, olive oil.
Yeah.
And your skin is dry, olive oil. You got wrinkles, olive oil.
Yeah. Run out of toilet paper, olive oil.
That's a good one.
It's just is that kind of thing. You probably don't remember it, but
Be all olive oil.
yeah. But yeah, it's just that to me is the difference between a chef and a cook. So a cook can be as good as a chef in terms of what they know and producing a final dish, but a chef also has that sort of experience of working in that high pressure environment.
Yeah.
It's like I tell you what, it's a bit like a sniper in the army and an athlete at shooting. The guy in the army's been through so much more than the guy who spends 6 hours a day just shooting at a range.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, I think so. Anyone else? Have you got anything to put in there?
No.
No, you?
No, I think you cover everything aspect of it.
Everything
Yes.
aspect of it. Okay, thanks.
What should we do for the next one? Oh, in your book, you refer to poached chicken, velvet poach, and velveted chicken. What, in your opinion, is the best one?
Well, in the book, I only mentioned poached chicken, but I think I know what you mean. Like
I think maybe they meant recipes.
yeah. So in the videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, well, you go first because I always seem to take over.
Oh, it's all right. No worry. Yeah, because you can talk better English than I could.
Yeah, but a lot of people just come in to listen to you talk.
Oh, oh, thank you very much. Then,
So, yeah.
what is the question?
That's why, because you're not listening. So, essentially,
Yes.
which do you prefer, poached, velveted, or velveted? Yeah.
Oh, depends on what type of meat though.
Chicken breast.
Chicken breast.
Yeah.
Chicken breast. I don't quite like. I don't really keen on chicken breast. I'm more like the chicken drumstick or the thigh meat.
Yeah, but that's not the question. Which one do you prefer if you had to eat?
I think I would probably prefer it velveting.
Velveting.
Yeah, velveted or velvet.
Yeah, I'm the same. I prefer
Yeah.
not poaching and velveting. I will just velvet straight up. So if I got one chicken breast, that's going to be an 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 teaspoon of MSG, a teaspoon of potato starch, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of light soy, and some oil, and a pinch of bicarb. And then I'll mix that in and I'll cook with that.
It cook really, really quickly because chicken breast.
Yeah, but the issue is most Chinese takeaways, and I don't think I've been to one in an area near us, at least, I've ever tasted that's velveted their chicken, because you can tell instantly. You can tell taste the flavour of the soy on the outside. I mean, velveted poach is different because when you velvet it and then poach it as a whole, you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Rather than just poached, but I mean, nowadays they're not even poaching. There are a fair amount who aren't going to be poaching. I'd say only 1%, if that, are going to be poaching their chicken. Another 1% is probably actually velveting. In a takeaway, that is in a Chinese restaurant, there's a good chance that they will be velveting. But I reckon 98% of the takeaways, restaurant is not the same, but the takeaways is going to be bought in.
Yeah.
pre-steamed chicken, which can range from 100% down to 60%. Before someone goes mad, it's just percentage of water and salt. So if it's 60%, that's 60% chicken breast, and then it's been pumped with water and salt.
So no weird extra gooey bits from other parts of the world.
Yeah, and there'll be one dickhead out there who goes, well, why'd you have to pump it in the first place? Oh, that's just messing around with it. Yeah, but technically, velveting and using bicarb.
They won't appreciate that. There is always one, though, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. But using bicarb is processing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just they just want there to be an issue when it gets to that stage.
It's like water's okay when you have to drink it, but if you put it in a chicken, oh no, thank you.
Also, it's more expensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's way more expensive than fresh chicken.
Yes.
They do it for time now because, like, poaching chicken used to take hours, and you'd have to be so careful because you've got a massive vat. And when I say massive, it's probably half the size of Mum.
Yeah, the pot, yes.
And about, 3 feet wide?
Was it 3 feet?
About
Maybe
3 feet.
about a couple of feet, yeah.
It's probably about 2 feet by 2 feet.
2 foot by 2
2
foot.
feet by 2 feet, which works out.
Diameter 2 foot.
Yeah.
And the height is about 2 foot.
Yeah. So,
Like that, yeah.
in other words, it's fucking big.
Yeah.
And
it's funny is when you poach that massive volume of the chicken breast, the chicken tend to be tenderer than when you just done one.
yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, because there's more. The heat were distributed.
Well, you can regulate the heat to not be hot. That's what it is. It's so
Yeah.
like it never goes. So when it gets to temperature, it stays at temperature
Yeah.
because all you have to do is just the heat because there's no fluctuation of heat, and it gets there slower as
Yes.
well. And slow and steady is how you make everything tender.
Yes.
Unless it's beef, and then sometimes you need to take a hammer to it.
Yes.
But I never tenderize beef like that ever. Do you?
I
think
do
that's outdated.
now and then.
Yeah, I think it is outdated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now and then.
I think that's when
It depends
people.
on what you're doing, though.
Well, I think it was back in the day when people were just getting cheap cuts of meat and selling
yeah.
a steak, weren't they? But so yes, chicken velveted every time at home. Will it taste like a Chinese takeaway? No. Will it taste better? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, definitely.
yeah. But if you're looking for that replicated taste, and it's why we teach people, is you need to be poaching it or velveting and poaching it. That's how you get the flavour that the takeaways will be using. But if you want better, well, in my opinion, better, because some people will prefer the Chinese takeaway chow mein. That's fine. There's no issue with that. It's whatever you like. Which again is why we teach people how to do it the takeaway way, because some people just want to know that.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah,
A lot of them do like that.
yeah.
Yeah, do like the takeaway style.
So many people who just go, "What? Well, if this isn't the best way, why are you teaching it?" I'm just like, "Oh, fuck off, you moron! Read the room. I'm trying to teach people how to do this at home. Right? I know some recipes that are better than KFC, and you guys know that I love KFC, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. But I'd get that if there was a channel teaching me how to do it exactly, I would be watching that.
Yes, definitely.
Because sometimes pasta, right? Sometimes I want it with a carbonara sauce, or sometimes I want it with a bolognese sauce. Okay, like pasta's pasta, but you just different flavors. Sometimes one is better and one's never. Sometimes I just like pasta with salt on.
Yes. Oh, the best
Yeah.
is the garlic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could not beat that.
yeah, Maggie's sauce and garlic.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
But I mean, that's really simple.
That's my version. That's my version of it.
Yeah, it is your version of it. I've been, Mum used to serve it at my birthday parties and stuff when we were younger, and people would just come. Actually, I don't think anyone likes me. People would just come for Mum's food.
Well, I mean, it's understandable.
Well, just
You are quite
Yeah.
annoying.
realization.
Yeah, you used to have the chicken wings and hot dogs.
chicken
I
wings,
used
the
to
hot
do
dogs.
the hot dogs really nicely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
And the noodles.
Probably why I was so
everything.
fat.
Not so the
Still fat.
noodle. Yeah. We couldn't get noodle at the time then. That was many years ago because we live in quite remote area. So instead of noodle, I use spaghetti.
Yeah, and also we couldn't take from my auntie's takeaway because they needed the stock. Super busy back in the day.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it was now. It was insane.
It is insane.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've answered that question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go on the next one.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so this is one for you, Barbas,
Mm-hmm.
from Cameron White.
Mm-hmm.
He would like to know what it is like having dyslexia and how it affects you. I think it'd be great to educate others who would listen who might not know much about it.
I don't know. I mean, this is a difficult one. I think you've asked me this before to say in a podcast, and I haven't added it to the questions before. Not because I'm embarrassed by it, just I don't really know the difference because I've never not had it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I can tell that I can't spell.
I think when you were at school, you were saying that you cannot read and you cannot spell. That is really quite a bit demoralised for the kids, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it didn't affect me mentally or anything like that. But I do remember being at school and them telling me I couldn't read or write because Mum wasn't English.
Yeah, they say because I am
Foreign.
I'm foreign, so English is your second language. That's what they put it down.
Yeah.
So because you cannot read properly, you cannot spell properly, that's the reason they put it down.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't caught with dyslexia until I was in university, where a professor pointed it out to me. He goes, "None of this made any sense. Can you read it to me?" And I read it back to him, and he went, "None of that says what you've said."
Ah.
Actually, when I was reading it back, I could hear the mistakes when I was reading it back, but I couldn't see it.
Do you not know until you read it out loud?
No, sometimes I can't. Well, I mean, in that case, I knew I'd missed out like words, and some words were spelt so bad I couldn't read them. So I didn't even know what they were. That's how I knew I was wrong.
Yeah.
It's just I can't. I mean, it only affects me in that sort of way. I'd never had extra time or anything like that, and I've never seen it as an issue. But apparently, I don't know if it's true or not. Dyslexic people have like unorganized brains or something like that. I've never looked into it. Surely, so I don't sort of create my own bias in my head, so I can make excuses for it. Not like people do make excuses for it, but I'm just very aware that I don't like to let things like that get in my way, so I just don't really research it. But my sister once told me it's the reason why I'm always messy is because of dyslexic. But not all kind of dyslexia, but our kind of dyslexic brains don't function very well unless there's mess. And I have to say, when my desk is tidy, I can't concentrate. It's true though, isn't it? Yeah. I cannot concentrate. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't even explain it. It's like my brain won't work.
Yes, I'm as
And
well.
the second there's like a mess, or like I've left a pen out in the wrong place, I haven't put it back in the pot, and I've spilt some paper clips over. Thing is, I'll know there's 6 paper clips there, and I know when someone will go, 6 paper clips. Yeah, I know you can have one of these. I've got 5 left. Then I can start to function again. But I don't know if that's just a me thing or if that's actually related to dyslexia. If it's the same as Mum, it could just be genetic.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible. If I try to tidy all my things, I tend to forget where I put them. And if it's in a mess, as long as I have seen it, I know where it is. I know all my filing is with Sainsbury bags, Asda bags.
Yeah.
I think
Tesco bags.
yeah, it is though, isn't it? The thing is as well. Mine and Mum's memory is really visual, and I think when things are tidied away, it all looks the same. So there's nothing to remember. Whereas I know that there's a mound here and there's a blue sheet and it's pointing out, and I know what the blue sheet is, but I can remember that blue sheet, and that is for my appointment for next whatever.
Yeah.
And I know that I know there's a pen there because I remember putting the book down over the top of it.
Yeah.
Because it's unique. Whereas if it's in a pot or if it's got a place, I can't remember the pot or the place because it's not. I can't explain it. It's not unique. It's just there. It just is.
There's somebody who say it's an excuse to be untidy.
Yeah, I mean, probably is. But I don't think it affects me. Definitely affects my sister more than it did me. She got diagnosed earlier so could get better help and realise the issue, whereas I got diagnosed quite late. So
Yeah. The school they went to did not they did not agree with it at all.
What were Maylee's findings?
Yeah, Densville.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
yes.
Well, they just went, no, she's not.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking dickheads.
Yeah.
That's just that. But I mean, to be fair,
Or,
30
30 odd years ago, isn't it?
30
Yeah.
years ago, cities and stuff were well up on this already by then. So
maybe
like,
down there.
I had friends at uni who already were diagnosed when they were young because like city, like teaching, I don't know, maybe they get more training. They were just very aware of it. Whereas everyone I knew in my year at school, there's no real such thing as dyslexia.
No.
As in, like, no, I didn't know I didn't know it was a thing till I was about 16.
That's right.
Yeah, because I think not that it's just I don't think rural areas get as much money as city areas, which makes sense. It's less people, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think maybe in a big city, I think the teacher probably is a bit more trained up, whereas in the villages.
Well, I think it's easier to get people to come over and train you, and then they train the bigger areas first, and it's slowly.
Yeah.
Because there's only so many people that can train people, isn't it? So they go for the big populations, and then they move to the next.
To the small one, yeah, probably. Yeah.
And if one person can only do, if you don't factor in holidays, 365 days schools in a year. How many are there in UK? 4 billion.
Yeah.
I know it's not 4 billion.
Yeah, there's not 4
I
billion.
know there's not 4 billion, but I mean there's a lot of schools.
Yeah, that could be the reason for it.
Yeah, it's probably not one whole day training as well. It's probably a couple of days.
Yes. I
So-
think we covered that quite well now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a sensible answer from me from once.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Quite impressed actually.
Next one.
Yeah. So there's recently been some changes to the Roald Dahl books.
Right. Yeah, I've heard this. Yeah.
Obviously, Piers Morgan is involved in that. He likes to speak out about these things. So a couple of the examples are Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Augustus Gloop is now, from being described as fat, is now described as enormous. James and the Giant Peach, the Cloud Men, now the Cloud People.
Okay.
Miss Trunchbull was described as most formidable female, and it's now been switched to woman.
Oh, cannot say female.
Apparently not,
I thought it was lady.
but I thought it was lady as well. But I did have a look before we did this, and it's changed from female to woman. But woman is an adult female.
Yeah, I
like
think-
the description of woman is adult female.
Oh, so they have to put female instead of woman.
No, they've had to put woman instead of female. I'm not quite sure. Like the fat thing as well, I think enormous is a little bit more offensive than fat.
Yeah, I mean
because it's emphasised.
Enormous, and it meaning is a big fat, isn't it? It's the same meaning. Then fat
just-
and also enormous.
enormous this bit. Yeah. Like there's-
However you want to use the word.
I don't. It depends though, doesn't it? Because like, if The Rock walked in and you went, "God, you're enormous," he'd be like, "Thank you." But if Augustus Gloop walked in and went, "God, you're enormous,"
Yeah, you'd be like, fuck you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
But even if you walked in and said you're fat, you're still going to go, well, that's not very nice.
I think the issue is that fat is all negative, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
also
probably.
a fictional character. He's
Yeah.
not real. He doesn't have feelings.
Yeah, but the kids reading it are real, and like I'm just playing devil's advocate at the moment. But the kids reading it are real, and kids do get bullied.
They do get bullied, yeah, but
You don't want to give them more
Also-
ammunition.
it's a story. It's about a man who lives in a chocolate factory with little men running around.
Oompa Loompas, they're not men.
Well, they were actually men in the
People
film.
Yeah.
now. Yeah, people, is it? They
Yeah,
have to
I
say
think that's
people.
probably another one that will be changed.
Did they call
if
them-
it
So you
hasn't
mean they have to
already.
change all the books?
They've changed like throughout the book.
Not through history. The ones that no one's going to be knocking
Just
on
the
our
Roald
doors, checking our
Dahl
Roald Dahl
books.
books.
Oh, they're going.
They've changed all the wording.
What about those books being bought before?
No,
What
man,
are they
that's-
gonna
you
do
can't
with
change-
them?
No, so they've changed like copies, like so ones that were sold like 20, 30 years ago are still being made now.
Okay.
the new prints will have all the descriptions in it changed.
Oh, all right, okay.
I understand it. I do understand what they're trying to do. Do I think it's over the top? Yes, because I also feel that it's a good opportunity to teach kids that you can't call people fat. So I think it's a great tool to go, okay, so they call him fat here. You should never call someone in real life. It's not a word we use today. I mean, okay, granted, so that kids, I'm guessing it's so kids can read it and still enjoy them and not feel like sometimes people are just arguing because they're not comfortable with the idea. And then when they sort of, if you really sat back and thought about it, I mean, he's fake.
Yeah, he is fake.
I mean, it's like if it was, for example, if you were doing William Wallace and you changed him to Nancy Wallace, I don't think it would work because he's an actual character from the past. You can't just change him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Then I would I'd say umbrage with that if they changed, let's say, Amelia Earhart and made her a man. Sorry. I get what they're doing, and they say it's for the kids, but like I said, it's a perfect opportunity to teach kids the difference.
Do kids still read?
Yeah, when they're young, they still do. Yeah. And they have to be able to read Twitter and Instagram posts.
Yeah, but they're probably more likely to go and read Twitter and Instagram than they are to go and read a Roald Dahl book.
I think that age group as well, they would have probably heard a lot more than fat on the internet. Yeah. But anyway, but also I will say, like, you wouldn't take out all the N words in Django. I think it's a piece of, and you wouldn't sort of censor it for all the additions coming up, because even though it's a abhorrent word, it makes that story what it is.
Yeah.
It focuses on how disgusting that word is. And I think that's important. And I think taking these words out of Roald Dahl is a way of almost taking out that education for the kids, like I said earlier. So they can learn at a young age, actually, don't call people fat. Don't assume that they're man or woman. Just have it in there. Just at the end, teacher can go, we don't actually know if they're men or women. So, but it's just a story and it's in a book. That's absolutely fine to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people these days are too much trying to put a problem which is not a problem, and they're trying to create a problem for people to.
I don't know, because
like make a problem to it.
See, that's the other issue. What's a problem to you isn't a problem to someone else. Just like you don't see that as a problem, but you haven't come up with like the situation where that is a problem. For example, us, we get Asian hate quite a lot, and people go, "No, you don't. That's ridiculous. That doesn't even happen." And like, well, we see it every day and in real life. Like, it's absolutely fine for someone to walk past me and make what.
Yeah.
They would or stop me randomly and go, "Do you know who you look like? You look like Kim Jong-un." They would never dream of stopping someone and saying, "But you look like someone," or "You look like that person." But it's okay when you're Chinese or Asian looking, I should say.
Yeah. Well, have we covered that topic?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Williams would like to know a cooking one. How do you know the green egg barbecues?
No.
They literally look like an egg, and they're like hammered.
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
Green egg barbecue.
Yeah, they're ridiculously expensive, and people rave about them, but I don't know why. I've never used one.
So how that compares to a Peking duck oven, or £1,295.
What is green egg?
Jesus Christ! Lydia's getting a picture up for you.
Where is it from then?
Internet.
So
yeah, where is it originally from? Which country do it first?
No, I think it's just been invented. Right. Okay. For a start, that's got a flat base, and the
I think they sit in a. I'll get you another photo.
It's a machine, is it?
No, I think it's a barbecue.
Like it sits.
Oh, I thought you meant a green egg. Actually, an egg.
No, they're called green eggs. It's got a flat base, so that's different for a start. The oven cookers don't have a flat base. Also, the size, so you can't have the temperature difference in the smaller one like that. They do small duck ovens, but they're chilly for duck. If you want to do like silyak you need a large oven, so you have the temperature difference. So middle hot and the outside middle cooler, outside much hotter because of the heat moving. You need that in order to do that, whereas you couldn't do it with that because there isn't enough heat difference.
What size is that green egg
About
oven?
that big.
Is it?
They're not massive.
Not that big. I don't know what it is. They always look like the surface area is too small to cook anything on.
Yeah, is that 2 meter high?
No,
Or not?
literally
3 foot?
3 foot high, probably, maybe even 2.5.
3 foot is quite high, quite big though. 3 foot is about like
But
that.
it's one cooking surface, and also I think
Is it barbecue?
it's a barbecue. Yeah,
Put coal or electric?
coal.
Then the space.
I wouldn't.
You do get different sizes.
Oh, okay. What's a bigger size then?
They do look very similar, though. I will say, maybe they've been designed on that duck oven principle.
They don't have sizes. Well, they do have sizes, but they don't have like measurements. Not that I can find right now.
Have they got litre in it?
No.
No. So essentially, Mum, just watch, okay? This big, and imagine that.
Or what can you cook in there?
No, and they've really thick walls, so the surface area to cook on is tiny. And like me and Lydia, when we cook for ourselves on a barbecue,
Yeah.
we use that big drum one,
Yeah.
and we take up most of the service.
You've got
Surface.
2XL there, and the height is 90 centimetres.
3 foot.
So that's the difference.
Did
If you
anyone
want
else
to
do that?
buy the bigger
What?
one, then it'll be.
What's wrong?
Told I was having a fight.
Is he?
Yeah. Do you want me to go let him in?
Yeah, go stop him. So that's my cat, and he's obviously
He's getting old.
See?
he's a fighting cat because we got him as a stray, and
It's an alley cat.
as a cat, and he didn't have his balls taken off till he was quite old, so he's still into fighting, and he scraps quite badly that we have to take him to a vet every now and then. We'd like to keep him in, but he's just
He just wants to go out all the
well,
time.
not just that. I just don't think it's fair on him.
To lock in, is it?
Yeah,
Right, did you answer what we were
The
talking about?
duck oven. is
yeah.
it?
The duck oven and that egg oven
Yes.
barbecue.
How much is it, one of them?
1,300.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I don't know what size that one is
I
either.
wouldn't pay that.
No,
When the
they're
3 foot
expensive.
one-
They're well over £1,000 to just start.
Yeah, the 3 foot one, I wouldn't.
You can get knockoff versions.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't buy that.
Well, I couldn't afford to buy that.
Even though I can afford it, I wouldn't buy that.
I would, if Green Egg gave me one, I would definitely.
Hey, you know what? We have got one of those cast iron fire. What do you call
Pit.
it? A chimney pot.
Yeah.
It was quite high. You can hang a duck in there. Should we do that?
Roast it inside.
Yeah. That's what Tayi bought it for.
Yeah.
She said, Choo, I got this for you. When you light the fire, when the fire died down, you can.
And roast the duck. Yeah.
That would be good to try.
It would be good
Yeah.
to try. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
don't think it would be a big one. Maybe a bit of
You'd
1.
need a thin duck.
Yeah, 1.2 kg one.
yeah. So
It wouldn't be a 3.6 kg.
No.
what about
Yeah.
3.5?
No, it was too big. You couldn't even get in the hole.
Yeah, you're right. 3.4.
Yeah. No, just 1 kg duck. Hey, I got the 1 kg one. 1
Yeah.
kg chicken. We try that, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So long story short is, you could roast a duck in it.
Yeah, I'm excited about that now.
You could roast a duck in it. You could probably get really good tassil in there, but you're not going to
Yeah.
get sunyuk. So that's the difference, essentially. Also, I'm not sure where the fire is on it. I'm not sure, because the fire on the duck oven is right at the bottom. I have a feeling that's going to have a grill, and it's going to come up quite close to the top, and it's just going to be essentially a dome shape
Yeah.
of heat.
If you
Whereas the duck ovens go like this.
Yeah, if you hang your duck, wouldn't it be a bit too?
It won't hang. That's
What?
the thing. Also, yeah.
Or you
it won't
rest it. You rest it on the top.
No, no. People don't. He's just asking what's the difference. But that's another
Oh,
difference.
right,
You couldn't
okay.
hang your duck in there, and you need to hang the duck.
Yeah.
Hope that
Okay.
answered that question.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you-
Also, hi Days.
Yeah, hi, Days.
Hi, Days.
Another one?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So I've noticed a lot of people commenting on the a lack of vegetables in supermarkets recently.
Oh, okay.
What have you seen anything about that?
No, I didn't even know until today. I haven't watched any news for the last 4 days.
I had noticed because I've been trying to do a recipe vault video for gold members, and I can't do it because there's nothing for me to make. So like normally you get one a week for gold members, and I was going to do Wandering Dragon this week, but I can't get any of the vegetables I need for it, like none. I've been in, I wouldn't say every day because that would be irresponsible, but I've been in quite a bit to try and find peppers for some reason. No peppers, onions. The tin stuff I can do, but then it's not going to be the same. Also, some of the meats aren't in, but I think that's just because it's just starting to season and Butlins has opened back up.
Yeah.
I just think it's been destroyed. So no, I haven't. Other than that, I've heard there were going to be issues. When was it we went to Bristol? Sunday. When did
2
we go?
weeks ago, wasn't it?
Is it 2 weeks ago already?
No, a week ago we
Yeah.
went.
Yeah, it was last
It's
week.
about a week
Yeah.
ago. Boom,
Yeah.
boom.
No.
A week ago we went.
I mean, it's mainly down to bad weather in Europe and Africa. Don't know why I said like Africa, but electric bills in the UK and the Netherlands apparently aren't helping as well. But some of the comments on the articles about the lack of fruit and veg, people are saying it's ridiculous, it's not good enough. They feel like they're being treated like animals
Get a grip.
because they can't get a cucumber.
What? Fuck off.
It's like, we need to force the UK to try and eat more fruit and veg, and now they can do it.
Do you know what's ridiculous?
What?
All the veg that was there was all that British stuff. So like Swedes, carrots, parsnips.
Yeah.
You can get fucking vegetables. You're just being
There's
a
a
picky
shit
little
ton
twats.
of carrots in Tesco's at the
Yeah,
moment.
if people think like that, they're just over entitled dickheads.
Yeah. And so even some of the meat's gone down as well, I've noticed.
Yeah, so
yeah,
what?
get other one then. Or if the meat you want is not there, wait for next Sunday, come in.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah, it's not like we're starving right now, is it? We just don't have.
Yes.
Fucking hell no.
It's a luxury to be able to pick. It's genuinely a luxury to be able to pick whatever you want when you go to a supermarket, as long as you can
Yeah.
pay.
And
for
if
it.
you can't find something in
Yes.
that supermarket, there's another supermarket next door you can go into.
Yeah.
And then on your way home, you can pop off at the corner shop and get something else if you want. It's endless where you can get stuff from.
Yeah.
And people think just because they can't get their fucking chicken breast for that night and their tomatoes, they're hard
Tomatoes.
done by. It is very frustrating.
Yeah.
I hate
Just
it.
have other thing then.
Like, people are so spoiled and they don't even realise it.
Petulant children.
Yeah.
So it does really annoy me though.
It is annoying, yeah.
No veg.
Oh.
No, I'm joking.
Twat.
So it is difficult for me, especially because it means that now I'm gonna miss the upload date, which is tomorrow, which for me is Friday. For you guys, I don't know what it'll be Friday, but for getting that recipe up, and it's really irritating because I've started to put a lot of time and effort into that recipe vault to make sure there's decent content there for all people on all levels. It's just thrown me back loads. Also, I haven't been able to do any like TikTok stuff for a couple of weeks because of it. I've noticed it started to dry up about 8 or 9 days ago, and the thing is, TikTok drives our sales massively in terms of the web store. I put a TikTok video up, and we're gonna do, let's say, if we're lucky, a normal day would be between 300 and 400 quid on the web store. Full disclosure, but I mean that's not profit. We make probably between 20 and 15% profit on. So if someone puts £100 order in, we're probably going to make about
£20.
no. That's if they order all our own products, right?
Yeah.
But if they order things that we've had to buy in, that's going to be about £12.
Yeah.
And then people go, well, why don't you throw in free shipping? What, so I can make £3.50 an order, not including the money it costs for me to pack?
Yeah.
For me to pay someone to pack that?
Yeah. Packaging is expensive.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But anyway, but when I put a video up, that can sometimes double.
Yeah.
So for that day, I've made £40.
Yeah. Yay!
Yeah, £40. Yeah.
Not even our KFC order.
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah, people just don't fucking get it, do they?
Yeah, and I also think that when you see people, not just us in general, when people working for some other people, when they're seeing the money coming in, even like big supermarket or whatever, big supermarket not maybe not counted. Normally like a private self what is it?
Well, private business.
Private businesses, and you get the employee working for you. They see you've got lots of money going into the till. A lot of the time they think, oh yeah, they've got so much money, but they did not realize that how much is that have to be before you actually open your shop, and you have to take so much to cover your costs, your insurance, your whatever, your electric, and all your wages. People don't see that.
No,
by the time you take £100, it's probably end up by the time you pay all your employee everything, probably about £20 is actually maybe less than that. But £15 is yours.
Well, not even that though. It's like if as a boss you do get paid a lot more than your employees, right? What they can't grasp is that your boss has probably put, between £20,000 to £100,000 of their own money as a gamble.
Yeah.
And you've done nothing but just be employed.
Yes.
Imagine if you had to go to a job and they would go, okay, so you'd have your job, we can guarantee you six months of work at 20 grand a year, right? But to start, you're going to have to put down £10,000 for me to make, £20,000. So I can make my money back in the first year. Yeah, but that's not how it works in business. You wait 3 years, but I'm just being simplistic. But there's no guarantee that I'm even going to be employed for the next year. No guarantee whatsoever. What are we doing to? Well, it's completely down to yourself in order to drive business and make sure that we can pay you. You'd be like, well, that's not worth the fucking risk, is it? But that's what business owners do all the time. They put their own money down, they risk it, and I genuinely believe that you, as a business owner, you should be rewarded. And one day it will work out for us. One day we will get to the point where, at the moment, I'm not the most well-paid person in my company. Like, that's the genuine fact. Yeah. I actually, I'm like, my chefs and my chefs that are coming up will be better paid than I am.
Yeah,
that's a true story. And
they got sick pay.
Yeah, and I don't get paid. Yeah, when I'm off.
You don't get holiday pay.
And that's a genuine fact. Even people go, oh, but how can you? Well, there's just so much that outgoes. Yeah, and it's really sort of the thing is we do it for the love of what we do, and if it wasn't for that, it'd be pointless.
We just like doing it.
I'd make more money. I could make more money, I'll be honest, by going, look, this is what I've done to a marketing company or a social media company, and I go, this is what I've done. I managed to do this. I think I can make 3-4 times the amount that I do now by just going to one of them and doing that. But it's not as fun, is it?
I think we like the challenge.
Yeah, it is the challenge.
Yeah, challenge and the mental stimulation.
It is. Yeah. Yes. But like again, we do it because one day we hope it pays off, and we hope it pays off big. Will it? I don't know, but I'm gonna give it a fucking good go. Yeah, we're going to give it a go. Yeah. I can't remember the original question.
Supermarket shortages.
Was that really? Really? Jesus, how did we get there?
How we diversion is called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That went south quite quick.
Yes, I think. Yeah. Any more thing that we could discuss for tonight?
No, I mean that's it for questions and stuff that's been asked.
So someone's just so I've seen one question. What age is a good age to start learning to cook from? And any age really, as long as there's supervision. I look very, very young. You were very, very young. Yeah. We yes, very young. You're always looking like them. Normally, I think they do that, isn't it? I think long time ago they probably not have kids involved so much, but nowadays with the modern parenting, they do have the kids with them cooking along a lot more than
the back generation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Back in 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah. But I think, But I learnt to cook
But
quite
not all of them, but
I mean, I was raised
some of them. Yeah.
in a takeaway environment. The also other thing is, what was I going to say? I've completely forgotten.
What age cooking?
That's it. Also, because I started cooking quite young, and I actually started working in my auntie's kitchen quite young. I get a lot of people go, "Oh, that's the same thing on Facebook." It's normally Facebook. They go, "I've been a chef for 15 years now." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, that's cute. By the time I was 15, I'd already done 7 years. No, obviously I wasn't 8 when I started cooking in a kitchen. But I mean, I just 15 years. Let me think about it now. 38. If I'm conservative, that's at least 20 years I've done.
Yeah.
37. And that's conservative. Actually, if I really think about it, it's probably more like 24, 25, helping out in the kitchen.
Yep.
Probably even longer than that. But I mean, before that, it was just let him just help, let him think he's doing something.
Yeah.
But I was taking it seriously. So
You're taking the eating of the food seriously as well, weren't you?
the ribs.
Yeah.
Oh, when they're just done.
Yeah, when they just come out.
And you
it's
put them on the
hot.
side, and you put them in the back.
Yeah.
You have a massive colander that is literally about 4 foot wide. You put the ribs in, drain the sauce off, and you wait for them to get the certain coldness. And there's a part on the rib that I call the oyster. I know it's not an oyster or the oyster of a rib, but I used to call it an oyster because it's flat and almost like a large minstrel shape, and it peels off because the sauce can get under it, so it peels off, so it looks like the rib is still intact. And my auntie, I don't think she ever knew, but my uncle who took over after my auntie, he caught me doing it. And I just go around every bit and take the oyster bit off and eat it. Obviously, I had gloves on and stuff, mainly because I thought I could get caught with 5 fingerprints. But so I was doing, and I was young, probably about 8, 9. And actually 8 and 9, I knew parts of the meat. And I was eating, and I remember him walking, he goes, "What are you doing?" I went, "Nothing, because you eat the best bits." I said, "Yeah," and ran away.
And you never did it again?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
He's caught me many times. So the tatil was in a pot in front of the cooker, and it was in front of halfway through the door.
Oh, yeah.
I used to do that.
As to what pass, is it? Yeah, we'll do
He
that.
hit my hand with a spatula.
Ow.
It wasn't hard. He didn't even hit it. It just went like that.
Was it a metal one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you ever watch someone cooking with a wok and they use a flat, I think I said this last time, and they're using a flat spatula, they are not a chef. And when I say chef, a chef. Because when you're using a wok, right, you can use a spatula for some things, but you're mainly using the spoon ladle. So the one with the round end, that is a ladle.
Yeah.
You're not using the especially with fried rice, and that should send alarm bells out. So if you ever watch a chef that is well known or just a YouTuber and they're using a spatula to cook fried rice, they've never done they've not done the time, and they probably don't really know how to do it properly.
Also, if you see metal utensils in a non-stick wok or pan, getting that layer off really nice.
Yeah. Warning bells.
Yeah. As they go along going, "Oh, I'm a chef."
They do that on MasterChef though, which irritates me.
Yeah.
Do that?
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that then.
Yeah, they always do. But I mean, they can afford brand new pans every time. Anyway, that's by the by. So I think we'll wrap it up there because it's been nearly an hour.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep, and fried chicken's on its way.
Yeah, and fried chicken is on its way.
So and rice, a boiled steamed rice, chili sauce, and cucumber.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how many cucumbers did you manage to get?
Oh, I already got one a couple of days ago.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I got 1.5 at the minute.
Yeah. Also, it's actually quite worrying because we're about to open a restaurant.
Yeah, I know. Open restaurant, all the veg is gone.
So I mean, don't get me wrong. We can easily do it with just carbs and meat, and that's not an issue.
Yeah.
And
we
can
could
make
change the menu, not change the menu, not need it then.
Yeah, I mean, we can use
Yes.
carrots and stuff instead, but
Yes. Okay.
We'll make it work.
yeah, we'll
Yes,
make it work.
Definitely.
We always do. The challenge.
Yes.
S-
Substitute. Is it using other thing?
Yeah,
Is that-
substitutions.
Yeah.
So, anyway, on that note, which I've said twice now, thank you very much for listening. Make sure, if you are watching on YouTube,
Hit the like button.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
yeah,
for your support.
also subscribe.
Yes.
Yes.
Lydia?
Like button.
I mean, you could have just said bye.
Oh. I thought you were trying to get me to say
No,
something.
why would I? Just,
I'm also pretty sure it came out as lick like
I
button.
think you did. Lick the like button.
If you can't hit it, lick it.
Yeah.
Wait, no, don't. No.
No.
Just hit the like button and subscribe.
Yes.
Right, we're going now. Take care. Bye.
Bye.